Honestly, just waiting to get fraud checked. Stays on the feet. I think Bobby Green is just gonna light him up. McCann is gonna be able to take this fight wherever she wants. So, what's up, boys? Back with another YouTube video. Today we're gonna be breaking down UFC 304, Edwards versus Muhammad. There's gonna be some good fights, some good matchups, some good tests. So let's get into it. First fight up, Shauna Bannon versus Elise Ardelean. I feel like this is a pretty low fight. I'd say that this fight can easily go to decision. I feel like I favor Elise because she has the danger. She has finishing power. Obviously, she's been facing cans. She's 9-5, but Shannon Bannon 5-1. Her UFC debut wasn't too good. She got taken down. I feel like Elise can work in takedowns. I feel like that the fact that she has finishing power and just finishing ability in women's fighting, I feel like I gotta favor her, and she's plus money by like plus 160. Pretty good odds for her. Debuting fight, she could be not that good, but I don't think Bannon is too good. Low fight, not crazy confident, but I feel like Elise will be able to take a round for sure. So I'm gonna be picking Elise by decision, low medium confidence. Next fight up, Parkin versus Lukasz Brzeski. I'd say that Parkin, he's honestly just waiting to get fraud checked. Brzeski, I feel like he is getting. I feel like the odds are way too high for him. Obviously, he has a couple losses in the UFC. Martin Buday, he got robbed in that fight. He outstruck Buday by 2-1. Lost that fight somehow. Carl Williams is a wrestler, took him down. McParkin isn't quite the wrestler that Williams is, but he will definitely work in takedowns. Acosta got knocked out, not the best of looks. Walter Walker is pretty bad. He got in takedowns, but Brzeski was able to land on the feet and win a decision, even though that was kind of a weird decision. But McParkin, I'd say he's definitely way overrated, waiting to get fraud checked. He has wrestling and he has pretty good fight IQ. If he realizes that he's losing on the feet, he'll work in a takedown. His output isn't too high. He kind of is going tit for tat with like Usman. Who else? He arguably lost the Machado fight. I thought Machado won. Jamal Pogues, he's not really running through him. He's kind of a decision fighter. You can't really trust Parkin to be dangerous, look for the finish, bump up the pace. I'd say that he is a pretty good fight IQ fighter. He'll try to do everything he can to win, but if he can't get land takedowns and he's not doing too well on the feet, he's kind of in trouble. I feel like Brzeski will for sure be able to take a round from him. I feel like this is a close fight. I feel like Parkin is definitely going to lose soon, but I think that he's just going to slowly edge this fight by decision, by getting takedowns and slowing down the fight and just getting ground control time. And it's going to be a pretty boring fight, but my pick is going to be McParkin by decision, and it's going to be low confidence. Next fight up, Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosbie. I'd say both of these people are untrustable. Kiefer Crosbie is pretty bad. He isn't really UFC level. Patterson, on the other hand, he is chinny. He got knocked out by a 145er. I feel like his stand-up is really sketch. I feel like the way that he's getting his submission wins, and I feel like he's gonna end up getting a submission win against Kiefer Crosbie. But Patterson, he honestly doesn't really have takedowns. He sometimes gets into a clinch when the other fighter is pushing him against the fence, works in somehow getting him to the ground, and then getting top control and then looking for a submission. I don't really see him getting takedowns in his fights when I was watching him back. Crosbie, he can knock him out for sure. I'd say Patterson looks a bit awkward on the feet. I think that this fight could go a little bit longer than people expect it to. It's not a guaranteed finish, but both of these fighters are finishers. They have a lot of finishes in their record. Crosbie, he is susceptible to getting submitted, and that's why Patterson is going to be my pick by submission in the second round. But honestly, low confidence. You can't really trust Patterson too much. He is chinny. It's going to be low medium confidence submission in the second round for Patterson. Next fight up, Muhammad Mokaev versus Manel Kape. I'd say this is an interesting matchup. It's whether Manel Kape can stuff the takedowns of Mokaev. I feel like Mokaev is definitely going to get takedowns, but is Kape going to be able to do enough on the feet to win? I feel like this fight will go to decision. Mokaev, he could be chinny. He has been put in some dangerous spots. He went against Elliott, was down 2 rounds on the judges' scorecard, and he ended up getting a submission. So he is pretty clutch in that sense. Against Falaho, it was 1-1, I believe, going into it. Ended up getting the submission. Gordon, submission. Johnson, he has really good takedowns, really good technique. He isn't that dangerous on top, though. I'd say that he can work in a submission, but if he doesn't have a submission, he doesn't really have a good ground game, like ground and pound or getting in better positions. I'd say once he's on your back, he is a bit dangerous. He can survive a lot. He's really durable. Manel Kape is the better striker for sure. It's just whether he can keep the fight standing. If he can keep the fight standing, he'll probably edge a decision or maybe possibly knock him out because he has pretty good power and he has been knocking down. I think the last like 4 fights he's knocked him down. I'd say I feel like Mokaev is going to be able to get the takedowns, and he has somewhat decent control. So I'd say that he's just going to edge out a decision. It's a pretty close fight, but I feel like Mokaev, he has the better tools to get to the fight where he wants. I feel like Kape is not going to be able to stuff every single takedown, and Mokaev is just going to keep coming with takedowns. Yeah, so my pick is going to be Muhammad Mokaev by decision. I'd say low confidence. Low confidence just because Kape, he has pretty good power. He has better striking. If he's able to keep the fight standing, he'll be able to win. So I'd say Muhammad Mokaev by decision. Next fight up, Oban Elliott versus Preston Parsons. I honestly don't know how Oban Elliott is even like a plus 120 or something like that. I think Preston Parsons like minus 155, 145. How is Elliott? He got knocked down by Woodburn. He isn't that good. I mean, he went to a close decision in his Contender Series fight. Preston Parsons has not like crazy wins, but Trevin Giles, pretty good guy, split decision. Daniel Rodriguez getting knocked out by him isn't the best of looks, but Evan Elder, that was a short notice fight for him, but Evan Elder is pretty tough. He's dog. He'll keep pushing forward, so getting the takedowns on him. He has a lot of Preston Parson is pretty good at getting the takedown and getting the fight where he wants, and on the ground he is pretty crafty. He can definitely work in a submission, and I feel like Oban Elliott, he kind of is somewhat similar. He's not crazy good on the feet. He likes to work in a takedown, and I feel like if he tries to work in a takedown on Preston Parsons, he's just gonna get submitted or get himself in a bad position. I feel like even Preston Parsons on bottom will be able to beat Elliott. I feel like I'm decently confident in Parsons, as much as you can be for a fighter like Parsons, because he isn't like crazy proven. But Elliott, he is just coming into the UFC, 1 win against Val Woodburn, and Val Woodburn isn't that good, not UFC level, close decision. I'd say Preston Parsons can win on the feet, can win on the ground, can win on the bottom. I feel like he definitely takes this fight. The only reason I have medium confidence in him is because he just hasn't proven to be like that guy to just consistently beat lower level guys, but I feel like he's going to be able to work in the takedown and end up getting the decision win. I feel like he can get a submission in, but I feel like Oban Elliott is strong enough and tough enough to survive. So my pick is going to be Preston Parsons by decision, medium confidence. Next fight up, Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. I'd say, I don't know, this is a close fight, but I feel like Prachnio, I feel like he has really good leg kicks, and he honestly will get like a solid like 10 every round, and I feel like that stuff just adds up. Modestas' win against Tyson Pedro is pretty decent, but he ended up retiring. He ended up looking worse on his way out. Lost against Prachnio. Both of them have fought Prachnio and Prachnio and Prachnio. He looked a lot better, didn't get knocked out. Actually, he got submitted. But I'd say Prachnio is going to win. Is by just getting leg kicks, staying on the feet, keeping distance. this fight is going to be a stand-up fight. Neither of them are really going to go for a takedown. Possibly Prachnio is going to go for a takedown, but it's like probably not going to happen. He likes to fight on the feet, and he hasn't really lost the fight on the feet. Like against Felipe Lins, he ended up getting taken down, I believe. Petrino got taken down and submitted, but William Knight, dangerous guy. He looked really shit in that fight, but he just leg kicked the fuck out of him. Got the win. Devin Clark is pretty decent. Got a KO by body kick, but this by some nobody. But I'd say both of them are pretty close to the same level, but I like the output. I like the speed. I like the leg kicks, so I'm going to be picking Prachnio by decision, and it's going to be low-medium confidence. Caolan Loughran versus Jake Hadley. I'd say that this is going to be a fight that Hadley's just going to get big bodied in. He's going to get big brothered. He's going to get taken down, held down. I'd say the stand-up could be kind of close, but Hadley is moving up from 125 to 135. He got held down, taken down by fighters like Durden. He lost on the feet against Charles Johnson. Couldn't really get a takedown either. They're both good fighters, 125ers though. He gets taken down in his fights. I feel like he is pretty crafty on the ground and has decent submissions, but I feel like Loughran, I think that Loughran is able just to do fine on the feet. If he's not winning on the feet, for sure he can get a takedown. And I think that he'll work down. He'll end up getting takedowns anyway. I think that he's going to be able to just beat him on the feet, get a takedown, but not crazy confident in it because Jake Hadley is pretty crafty. He is a 125er. He could end up being faster than him, but my pick is going to be Loughran by decision, and it's going to be low-medium confidence. Next fight up, Molly McCann versus Bruna, Brasil. I'd say that this is going to be a molly whopping for Molly McCann. I feel like Molly McCann is going to be able to beat her on the feet, beat her on the ground, possibly submit her, knock her out, get good ground and pound. I feel like the fact that she has dangerous strikes, you don't really see that in women's MMA. I'd say that she is pretty fierce. The way that she loses is by getting taken down or getting submitted. I feel like Stoliarenko isn't that good, but I feel like she has a pretty good armbar, and that's what she ended up getting on her. Erin Blanchfield. She's losing to wrestlers or people that are better than her on the ground, and Bruna Brasil is not better on the feet, but not better on the ground. She's not more powerful. She's not stronger. She's not going to be able to stop the takedown, and I feel like Molly McCann is going to be able to take this fight wherever she wants. So even if she ends up losing on the feet, she's going to be able to get a takedown, get ground and pound, or look for a submission because she has been trying to get better on the ground game. So I am pretty confident in Molly McCann. She is my most confident pick. I'm going to be picking Molly McCann by second round KO. Medium-high confidence. Next fight up, Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. I'd say that Wood, he kind of has to win. If he ends up losing against Pineda, that's a really bad look. Pineda has all finishes, but he isn't as crisp and just sharp as Wood. Wood is good on the ground, good on the feet. He's pretty fast. He has pretty good fight IQ. It was a pretty bad loss, or maybe not the worst loss, but Naimov loss. He kind of did get broken down a little bit, but Naimov was cheating the whole fight, and a lot of nut shots, eye pokes. Could have ended up making him fight worse, but I'd say Andre Fili win, Jourdain win, Charles Rosa. I'd say those are Fili and Jourdain are pretty good wins. Casey Kenny is a wrestler. I'd say Pineda, if he wants to fight on the ground, and if he does end up getting the fight to the ground, I feel like Wood is good enough to stand up, win on the feet, possibly even working on his own takedown because I don't think Pineda is too good on bottom. But I'd say Wood, he should be able to just cruise by, do what he wants because he's just a step ahead of Pineda. I'd say that if Wood loses, it's going to be bad looks. The odds are pretty bad, but I'd say pretty confident in Wood. Medium-high confidence. I think that he's going to end up winning by decision. Next fight up. Starting off with the main card. Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. I feel like that this is going to be a stand-up fight unless Arnold Allen decides to take him down. And I feel like Arnold Allen has to take him down to win this fight, at least somewhat, because I think that if he stays on the feet the whole time, even though Arnold Allen is really crisp, he's a really good boxer, he has good movement, is always on his toes, I think that Giga Chikadze will just be one step ahead of him with good kicks, keeping good distance control. He was a really good kickboxer earlier in his career. And I think that he is not the best at takedowns, but the way to beat Giga is to just keep walking forward, stay in his face, not let him be able to get good kicks off. Him not being able to do that pretty much throws off his whole game. I feel like if Arnold Allen is able to just get in his face, push him against the fence, work in takedowns, he's going to be able to easily get this win. But I think that this will be a lot more complex because Arnold Allen likes staying on the feet. He isn't that proven to be going for takedowns and sticking to a game plan, and I feel like that has to be his game plan to win against Giga Chikadze, or he's going to have a tough night. Giga has good power. He can knock out Arnold. And I think that he ends up finding the shot. I'd say it's really low confidence, but I'm going to be picking Giga Chikadze by second round knockout, low confidence. Next fight up, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. I'd say Christian Duncan, he keeps pretty good distance. He stays on the outside. He is a pretty lengthy guy, has really good reach. Rodriguez, on the other hand, he is a RoboCop. Like, he'll just keep pushing forward. He is really tough. He's a dog fighter. He can work in takedowns, and I feel like that's how he's going to end up winning this fight, if not knocking him out. I think he'll end up being able to find the shot and knocking out Duncan, just because Duncan, I feel like he kind of shies away when he starts exchanging, and I feel like you do not want to exchange with Rodriguez because he has crazy power. He has a lot of finishes. Both of them have finishing power, and I think both of them can knock each other out, but I feel like Rodriguez will be able to be just pushing forward, keep the pressure, work in takedowns, tire him out, end up finding the knockout shot, and winning by second round KO. So that's going to be my pick, and I'm going to be, I think, low confidence just because Duncan has pretty good range, has really good strikes. He's pretty explosive himself, and he's a really good striker, but Rodriguez by second round KO, low confidence. Next fight up, Bobby King Green versus Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. I think this is an interesting matchup. I think if Paddy Pimblett ends up winning, it's going to be by him getting takedowns, but he doesn't really shoot for takedowns. That's the thing. I feel like he is a power puncher, but he's not that technical. Bobby Green, he is really technical. In his last fight, it was like really shown against Jim Miller that he was just pacing him up. Obviously, Jim Miller is pretty old. He had a long career, but got knocked out by Jalen Turner, knocked out Grant Dawson, Tony Ferguson. He's losing against Jared Gordon, but Paddy Pimblett, I think he's waiting to get a loss. He should have lost against Jared Gordon, Tony Ferguson. Him not knocking him out is fine. He ended up dropping him in that fight. Paddy Pimblett has power. He has a pretty good ground game, but I don't think he'll end up shooting for a shot. He has a pretty good chin. So I think that Bobby Green is going to tap his way to a decision, comfortable decision. I don't really see this fight being on the ground, and I feel like Bobby Green's takedown defense is good enough to stop Paddy Pimblett's takedowns, and I don't even know if Paddy Pimblett will go for a takedown. So if it stays on the feet, I think Bobby Green is just going to light him up, land at least 2-1 probably on Pimblett. I think that his output is really good. He doesn't really have that knockout power blow, even though he knocked out Grant Dawson, but Paddy Pimblett, good chin. I'm decently confident in Bobby Green. I'd say that he'll be able to just keep this fight on the feet and end up winning by decision, medium confidence. Coming into the co-main event, Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Razor Blades. Pretty confident in Aspinall. I feel like a lot of people. I think a Tapology 92% on Aspinall. I think Aspinall would be able to even take down Curtis Blades. I feel like Curtis Blades, people say that he's the best wrestler in the heavyweight division. Heavyweight is pretty shit for wrestling, so, and he got absolutely destroyed by, even though he knocked out Jelton Almeida, he got taken down by him like 4 times maybe, and then Jelton Almeida just, I don't know, he just stood there on a takedown and just got pounded out and got KO'd. But Tom Aspinall, really good fight IQ, really good power, big in size, athletic. He's fast, good hand speed. Both of them, they fought before. You can't really say anything because it was like a couple seconds, but I'd say that Aspinall is better than him on the feet, has more knockout power. Curtis Blades has been knocked out before. I think that, I don't know, I feel like Aspinall, even though the odds are a bit like, he's like almost minus 400, it's like a bit scary just because Curtis Blades is proven he is good. But I don't know, I feel like Aspinall is probably the best heavyweight right now. He's definitely looked like the best heavyweight. He's really run through everybody, knocked them out or submitted them. I think he pretty much does whatever he wants, but he's going to end up getting the knockout is going to be my prediction. So Tom Aspinall by first round knockout is going to be my pick, and medium high confidence on that. The main event, Leon Edwards versus Bilal, remember the name, Muhammad. Honestly, I was on Muhammad a decent amount for a decent amount of time, but I don't know. I feel like rewatching that first fight back and rewatching the other fights, I feel like Muhammad won't be able to close a distance. I feel like Edwards does a really good job of keeping distance, walking around, and kind of like, not running around, but he does a really good job of keeping his distance and just bouncing around the cage and finding his shots, getting leg kicks in, body kicks, head kicks. He ended up catching Muhammad in the first fight with the head kick, wobbled him a little bit, but I'd say that Edwards is just way better than him on the feet, and his ground game is pretty good. I think don't be surprised if Leon Edwards goes for a takedown in this fight, because he ended up going for a takedown in that first fight, and he ends up getting a takedown pretty much in most of his fights. I'd say Edwards, he has really good stand-up. He's really technical. If you can't take him down, I feel like you're going to be struggling with him on the feet. Colby Covington couldn't really take him down. Kamaru Usman took him down, but couldn't really hold him down too much. And I think that he ended up winning this fight, even though it was close. Was losing the first fight with Kamaru, second fight actually, with Kamaru, knocked him out. I feel like he has clutch, so if he ends up being down and being worn down, he still has the possibility of getting a knockout blow, but he isn't really known as a finisher. But I'd say Edwards will be able to just keep him at distance, avoid the takedowns, and end up winning by decision. And it's going to be low medium confidence. Coming up with my most confident picks, Molly McCann, my number one most confident, sitting at medium high. Aspinall, medium high, second most confident. Nathaniel Wood, third most confident. Preston Parsons, fourth. Bobby Green, fifth. Leon Edwards, sixth. Loughran, seventh. Patterson, eighth. Prachnio, ninth. Ardelean, 10th. Mokaev, 11th. Rodriguez, 12th. Mick Parkin, 13th. And Giga sitting at the lowest confidence at 14. My funky pick of the week is going to be Marcin Prachnio, and I think that he's just going to be able to outpoint Bukauskas, and just the leg kick are going to be adding up, the output, the speed. I think he's better than him on the feet. So my funky pick of the week is going to be Marcin Prachnio. That's going to be my UFC 304 Leon Edwards versus Muhammad quick picks breakdown. Thanks for watching.